And if you're still stuck, if you're still all clogged inside, if you're still all closed up, that you cannot even talk about your feelings, then you need to fucking do something, man.
Brother, welcome to another episode of The Elite Game. So this week was a little heavy, bro. This past weekend was a little heavy emotionally. On Friday, I decided to take my dog to the vet because the past week has been gagging and not eating, not drinking, just depressed, not being himself. I don't know. So something was up. Something was up. Actually, more like a week and a half. So I had an engagement somewhere. So my daughter took the dog to the vet with my wife, and I get a phone call like 45 minutes later, and my daughter is sobbing. She's freaking out because the vet is telling her that Charlie needs to go to the hospital right away. And I didn't even know they had a hospital for dogs, like a real hospital. I thought they had clinics like the vet clinic, but I didn't know they had like real hospitals. It's fucking crazy. It's like a hospital for people. It's crazy. So she's freaking out. The dog needs to go to the hospital because something's really wrong with him. So, I drop whatever I'm doing and I go and I take the dog to the hospital with her. She's with me. And we get there, and they do all these exams to the dog. Meanwhile, the whole thing took like 3 hours. So leave the dog there and come back home, bring my daughter back. And then we have dinner, and then I go back to the hospital by myself just to check on the dog. And I get there, and they've done like all these exams, x-rays, and all these scans and tests. Like the whole works, man. It was crazy. Like I didn't know they had this capability. Again, I don't know. I never thought about it. I never had to actually take a dog to the hospital. And the vet comes in and she looks at me and said, "I have bad news. That unfortunately, the dog has cancer. Like Charlie has cancer." And she ended up by saying that he has this mass inside of him. It was like this big. That it was pushing against his stomach, against his liver, against his spine, against his trachea. And, that's it. There's nothing you can do, right? So, like, at that moment, like, I realized what had to be done. Like, in my mind, I knew what had to be done. But, the doctor is telling me, but you could do this, you could do that, and then, you could do this procedure, and then that procedure, and then you can do, these steroids and this and that. But nothing fixes the problem. None of that stuff will fix the problem. It'll just, buy whatever time, if anything, if it will work. And at that point, I know that, she's in the sales process. Right? And the hospitals are a business, just like human hospitals are a business. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that, but look at a hospital with no people there, right? It's rooms with beds. And if those rooms are not filled, then they make no money, right? I don't know if you guys ever understood that. But I knew what had to be done. So I come home and I give the news to my wife. And we talk about the best way to tell the kids the news. And, we plan everything out. And then the next day, Saturday, by 3 p.m., I had to take a dog and I had to put him down. So it was like a 48-hour process in a 48-hour timeline. The dog went from, maybe let's see what's going on with the dog, to the dog being dead. Dude, and this whole situation messed with my mind. This whole event changed the way I look at certain things. First of all, Like, I had no idea that there could exist love between a human and an animal. Like, I always rejected this idea. I always rejected the idea that there cannot be any love between a pet and the owner. No, like there's affection, there's a connection. Like I get all that. There's like I really like my dog. Like I understand that part or understood that part. But I always refuse to really take seriously when my daughter used to say to my dog that she loved the dog. Like she loved the dog. Like the dog was part of the family. That's another thing that I never understood because, dude, I grew up, I never had a pet. And I grew up in a place where dogs were outside. They just stayed outside. They never came inside the house, ever. They sit outside, they slept outside, they ate outside, like everything. And, probably rarely had any shots or whatever. It was just like, it was not the same. It was not the same. So when I got Charlie, when I got my dog, it was like a process, Like at first, I kind of didn't know what to do, and it was just like there, And then I started caring for the dog, and then like I really care for the dog by the time this whole thing is like said and done. Like I really care for the dog, but it wasn't until the dog like died. It wasn't until I had to take him. I had to take him to this room and give permission to this lady to inject poison in his heart for him to die. Like, and up to that point, I didn't realize that the simple fact that I did love that dog. Like love. This shit's fucking insane. Like, it's insane because the story that I had in my mind was that there cannot be any love between like a man and a dog or a woman and a dog or a cat. No, there cannot be. There's only love where I say there's love. So that's like the story in my mind. Completely crazy, right? But it's like I refuse to accept that there's like real love between a pet and the owner. I never did until the day that I lost my dog. Dude, like, I mean, I don't even know what to say because it's so like beyond anything that I ever thought I would say is that like, I did love my dog. Like, this shit's crazy. It's insane. Like, for me to say this. And he was part of the family. Like, part of the family. Part of the family. And I only realize this now. So I'm doing my daily stack. So this happened yesterday. I'm sorry, this happened on Saturday. Today's Monday. This happened on Saturday. And then Sunday morning, my daily stack, I'm like going through this. I'm analyzing this. I'm meditating, reflecting. Because that's what I do every day. It's like there's always stuff in life. Everything that happens in life, there's like a meaning for you. There's like a lesson for you. Like every event that happens, it's for you to receive a revelation, to receive a lesson, so you can implement that lesson in your life and you can rise up. You can level up. Like there is why there are events that trigger you. Make you sad, make you horny, make you happy, make you joyful, make you excited, make you nervous, whatever. Anything that causes an emotion out of you, there's a meaning there. There is a meaning there. There is a lesson there. So this is what I do. My daily stack every morning, I go through shit. I try to analyze. I try to extract a lesson, a revelation, something that is there for me that is meant to be for me so I can use it in my life, so I can make my life better for me and everybody around me. And a few things came out of that, man. One is that every creature that God made has a function and has a purpose. Every creature, like my dog, had a purpose. He had purpose in why he existed and why he was my dog. Like because of him, there was so much love and joy and laughter and like the kids playing. And there's this link that connected everybody. Like the dog, it was one of the links that connected everybody. And this shit's so powerful. And it's so real. And it took, my dog to die for me to realize this. Which, it is what it is. The situations happen for you to see new things, right? It is what it is. That's fine. But every creature has a purpose. Every creature has a function. Like I have a purpose. And when I talk to you and I make you feel a certain way, there's a lesson there for you. When I get triggered, when I talk to you, there's a lesson there for me. And on, like in every situation, every encounter, every conversation, every event, there's lessons for us. So we all serve a function. We all serve a purpose in every interaction, including creatures not humans, including like pets, for instance, including dogs, like my dog. And I see this shit now. I'm sensitive enough to see this where before I wasn't. Why? Because I'm not clogged inside anymore. Like my heart is not all like wrapped up in cement. Like the valves, like the valves are open. Like I can feel shit like I'm in and out. Like I look forward to reflect on something that either made me happy or sad. And like, for example, this thing with my dog, like it made me sad. So I'm very happy to go dive deep and discover in that sadness what's there for me. Like what do I need to learn from this? And this capability and this willingness, this desire to do this, like it was planted there by me. Like I've been doing this shit for years. And now it's like automatic. Like I extract revelation and lessons from shit that happens in my life that triggers me. In this case, the dog passing that made me sad as shit. So there was one thing, that every creature has a function. Every creature has a purpose. Man and animal. Doesn't matter. Second thing was that there's a new level of respect that I have now for all creatures of God. Trees, flowers, animals, like it doesn't matter. People. There's a respect now found that wasn't there before, that I now have, that is, it was only made possible over going through the situation that I did over losing my dog. And there was another one of his purposes, functions, was to, like make me realize this. And that's the way life is. And now I'm going to take that into the world. Now I'm going to say that to you. And now I'm going to bring that into my life, and then on and on and on. And that's the game, man. Like that's the game. But I need to be a conduit, and so do you, and so does everybody, towards one another. So then shit passes through us. Like lessons, even like feelings. So those two revelations, those two things that I understood for the first time are big, because now I feel like my heart expanded even a little bit more. And it's a great feeling, man. And if you're still stuck, if you're still all clogged inside, if you're still all closed up, that you cannot even talk about your feelings, then you need to fucking do something, man. You need to bury that shit, like take it to the cemetery, like do something with it. Like unclogged all the years of suffering and guilt and shame and whatever the hell it is that you've been keeping inside for so long. Because as long as you do this, as long as you have that inside, you're not going to be able to let anything in. How can you grow? How can you grow as a man, as a father, as a husband, as a professional, as a son, as a brother? How can you grow as a man if nothing enters you? And it can only enter you if there's space. Like, I cannot receive all this that I receive daily, this knowledge, these lessons, if I don't constantly am pouring out my heart. Like, that needs to happen first so you can create space, so you can let other stuff in. Do you get this? There's no other way around this. Like, that valve needs to be open. Otherwise, there is no actual real growth. It's impossible. There's none. So what are you waiting for? Dude, you can have everything in life. But if you have a heart that is stuck, that is closed up, that is wrapped in chains, that is hard as a rock, then there is no way you're going to be able to receive, so you can grow, so you can then build your life in a way that you have freedom, man. You can just have everything you want. And this is how you play an elite game. So this is how you start.